This is a mini lesson analysis on Marth versus Falco. Should try to just drop down to the platform immediately rather than double jumping on here. Because yeah, that kind of created a uncomfortable situation. Okay, really important micro scenario that you need to understand here. That yes, wave dash up tilt, or not wave dash up tilt, just wave dash tech chasing is a comfortable setup because you don't have to JC grab. However, there's other tech chase scenarios such as when you up tilt at early percent, where they're too low to the ground and your wave dash will literally take too much time. You do not have time to set this up. Like you have to accept that, you know, you just need a JC and the tech chase is going to be harder, or you just make a hard read. There's nothing wrong with that, but this is literally impossible as you see here. So like you can't always go for crouch tech chase setups depending on how it's set up. Like, you know, if you have enough time, then yeah, you could wave dash, but there is like, you know, you got reversaled. I thought that was kind of weird. Felt like, yeah, you just need to be a little bit patient. Like, you don't always have to pull the trigger in like every disadvantage situation. Felt like you're overshielding a little bit too much. Like I felt like instead of shielding there, you could have just dashed back, and you know could have gone a good opening off of that. Yeah, you're kind of just stuck in a lot of spots like these where, okay, so I think you should have just been able to power shield that. But I also noticing that he does high laser heights, and one way to beat high laser heights that is gonna kind of ignore the power shield is one, you could just straight up like do a dash back pivot grab if they're doing like the approaching variant. Another thing you could do is like you could also just like you could also dash attack, you could down tilt in place. Those are good ways of playing the mix up of like high lasers or power shielded lasers. So kind of keep that in mind. This one you just straight up messed up. But that's how you could kind of like avoid these like uncomfortable, because like Marth doesn't win by just sitting in shield. That much is for certain. How he wins is like, you know, playing some mix-ups in shield, but also adding in like nuance like power shield and like countering the high lasers if they're trying to beat the power shield. Like you need additional nuance that's not just like, I'm just gonna sit here and shield and hope that you mess up. And I thought this was like kind of, I think like just too low value pressure where it's like, because it's primarily low value because you weren't really spaced if any of these. Like if these led to knockdown, this is like fine pressure, but a lot of these like jab down till it's like they weren't close enough. So like or I guess like you weren't spaced for it, so it was kind of just weird pressure in that way. Meanwhile, you get a tipper down tilt there. That would have been good if you just actually properly edge guarded. So yeah, I mean, being in better position to pressure than just like spamming moves is like how Marth can get good openings off of Falco. And again, just like felt like you should have just done a nair pressure and then like you acted too early out light shield there. And yeah, you're just like missing a lot of like post power shield stuff. Like that power shield earlier, you could have done an immediate nair out of shield, and then you got stuck there when that was like an easy power shield setup. So like kind of just like, I don't know, it is game 5, it's losers, so understandably you're nervous, but it is stuff that I don't think you should be dropping that often anyways. You could also full hop fair that. Keep in mind that Falco in particular like reaches to the top platform pretty quickly. So like this should have been a preemptive full hop. Not that full hop. Like that one you should probably be short hopping to cover like a short hop forward easier. So that was a missed opportunity. You could have definitely just like up tilted there. Sorry if the spastic change there. Yeah, you could have up tilted, right? And you could have also pivot grabbed too. Kind of screwed up a big opening there. Yeah, pulled the trigger a little bit too early. There was a lot of ways you could have covered that, but you had it. You just pulled the trigger a little bit too early there. But at least you Got that one good. Yeah, you're just missing straight up. You're just too late with a lot of your power shields. So that could definitely be worked on. Like, audio cues are important. Like I personally use audio cues for, reacting to the gun coming out to time my power shields. I notice you don't have headphones on, so that might be why you're not hitting the power shields. And yeah, just like a little bit too much shielding. Like I feel like you should be timing these with like a dash back rather than a shield for a lot of them. Like there's definitely some scraps where you have to shield, but I feel like also there was a lot of them where you could have dash backed and like gone a big money opening. And yeah, again, it's just like you're missing like 90% of your power shields. Notice how your shield's coming out after you're getting hit by laser. That's just an indication that you're just too late for whatever reason. Yeah, and weird. And yeah, like I feel like that was a potential reversal, but then you were kind of slow off of this. It felt like you were confirming that you got a power shield. So like tech skill was pretty slow. So like overall, like I know there's mix-ups with power shields, but there's also a bigger problem that you're just not hitting like I want to say like 80% of your power shields there was missed. Um, as well as like some micro punish scenarios like dropping that edge guard earlier was like the reason why you lost that set. So just try to hit more power shields and improve on certain micro punishes like the things like wave dash, tech chase. Know when you can and cannot go for that. Don't kill yourself in edge guards. um and some vertical awareness could have helped you out better. Sure, there was other things I said, but those were the two main things that stuck out to me.